Welcome back to my channel Official History of Coins. Today, we're taking a closer look at two fascinating US half-dollar coins, the 1776 1976 Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar and the 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar. These coins have interesting history, unique designs, and details that every collector should know. First up, let's travel back in time to the early 1970s. The nation was gearing up to celebrate its 200th birthday, a monumental event that needed a special commemoration. After much debate and a push from passionate coin collectors, Congress finally approved a plan to create a special series of circulating commemorative coins. This led to a nationwide design competition, and from nearly 900 submissions, the stunning reverse design of Independence Hall was chosen for our featured coin. This iconic building in Philadelphia is where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and signed, making it the perfect symbol for America's bicentennial. The artist behind this masterpiece was Seth G. Huntington, who was awarded $5,000 for his winning entry. It was a momentous occasion that forever changed the face of American coinage. Now you might be wondering, when exactly was this coin made? That's where things get a little interesting. The official release date was July 7, 1975, making it the first of the new bicentennial designs to reach the public. However, you will never find a Kennedy half dollar with the date 1975 on it. To mark the special occasion, the Mint made the unprecedented decision to strike all coins with the dual date 1776 1976. This means that all bicentennial halves were produced over 2 years, 1975 and 1976, but they all bear the same historic double date. They were minted to celebrate the nation's 200th anniversary of independence, a tribute meant to be held in the hands of every American. And speaking of production, the United States Mint went all out. To meet the overwhelming public demand, they struck a staggering amount of these coins. In fact, more than 520 million bicentennial half dollars were produced in total. The Philadelphia Mint churned out 234,308,000, while the Denver Mint produced a massive 287,565,248 pieces. Because they were hoarded by the public upon release, they remain one of the most common modern coins found in bank rolls even today. But before you think this abundance makes them worthless, hold that thought, because this is where the true value story begins. So is it really that valuable? This is the million-dollar question, and the answer is a resounding, it depends. You see, the bicentennial Kennedy half dollar isn't just one coin, it's actually a family of 5 distinct issues. The most common ones you'll find in circulation are the copper-nickel-clad versions minted in Philadelphia and Denver. In worn condition, these are indeed only worth their face value of 50 cents. However, the San Francisco Mint produced special versions for collectors, including 7 million clad proofs and about 11 million 40% silver uncirculated strikes. These silver versions, especially in pristine condition, are where the value starts to climb significantly. The real magic happens when we talk about condition and rarity. The grading curve for these coins is famously steep. While millions were made, very few were preserved in flawless, gem-quality condition. For instance, professional grading services like PCGS report only a handful of coins have ever achieved the highest grades. A common circulated coin might be worth $1, but step up to a near-perfect MS-67 grade, and you are looking at a coin that can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is because collectors are constantly hunting for the best examples to complete their sets, and when a top-tier coin appears, the bidding wars can get intense. Now let's talk numbers, because this is what everyone wants to hear. For a standard uncirculated clad bicentennial half dollar, you might expect to get between $1.50 and $3. The 40% silver versions are more desirable, with an uncirculated MS-65 example easily fetching $25 or more. But the sky's the limit for the finest known examples. A spectacular 1976 S Silver MS-69 graded by NGC sold at a heritage auction sale for an incredible $9,600. That's nearly $10,000 for a single coin that started its life with a face value of just 50 cents. But wait, there's more. The true jackpot lies in the world of mint errors. Because of the intense production schedule, some fascinating mistakes were made. For example, a 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar that was an obverse die cap sold for a whopping $3,600, and the errors can get even more valuable. A proof 1976 S coin that was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a Jefferson 5-cent piece sold for $4,465. Another incredible error, a 1976 S double-struck coin, fetched $5,280. These error coins are the holy grail for collectors, turning a simple mistake into a highly sought-after treasure. So what is the maximum price you can sell one for? Based on our research, the absolute highest recorded sale for a bicentennial Kennedy half dollar is the $9,600 we mentioned earlier for the pristine 1976 S Silver MS-69. However, the potential is even greater. Some extremely rare error coins have asking prices listed at $40,000, though these are often speculative. The most realistic and documented top price you can hope to achieve for a single, perfect coin is that nearly $10,000 figure at a major auction house. But the key takeaway is this: your bicentennial half dollar might be worth 50 cents, or it could be worth $5,000 or more. It all depends on the version, the condition, and whether it has a unique, desirable error. Coin number 2, the 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar, is a fascinating United States half-dollar coin that carries the famous portrait of President John F. Kennedy and the Philadelphia Mint mark P for collectors. This coin becomes especially interesting when its condition, strike quality, surface preservation, and certification are taken into consideration. The Kennedy half dollar itself has an important place in American history. The design was introduced in 1964, shortly after President Kennedy's assassination, as a lasting national tribute to the 35th President of the United States. The obverse features Kennedy's portrait, while the reverse displays the presidential seal with an eagle surrounded by stars. By 1994, the Kennedy half dollar had already become one of the most recognizable modern American coins. The 1994 P issue was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and approximately 23,718,000 examples were struck. That production figure gives collectors an important historical reference when evaluating surviving examples today. The P mint mark is located on the obverse side of the coin, near the lower portion of Kennedy's portrait. Finding that small letter P confirms that the coin was produced at Philadelphia. The 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar was made with a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than the 90% silver composition used on earlier Kennedy halves. Its standard specifications include a diameter of about 30.6 millimeters and a weight of about 11.34 grams. The coin has a face value of 50 cents, but collectors do not always judge an old coin simply by its denomination. The real collecting interest can come from condition, rarity at a particular grade, exceptional preservation, and unusual minting characteristics. One of the biggest factors that can transform the value of a 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar is condition. A heavily circulated example can have much less collector appeal than a coin that still shows brilliant surfaces, sharp details, and minimal contact marks. This is where professional grading becomes extremely important. Coins are commonly evaluated on the Sheldon grading scale, with mint state grades used for coins that retain their original uncirculated appearance. A beautiful high-grade 1994 P can attract collectors because modern-clad Kennedy halves are often difficult to find in exceptionally preserved condition. Small marks that are almost invisible to the naked eye can make a major difference when a coin is being evaluated at the highest grades. Current market references show that an ordinary 1994 P can trade for a modest amount above face value, while certified high-grade examples can command substantially more. One current guide lists an estimated value of about $3.62 or more for an uncirculated example, while other market data show higher prices for certified pieces in stronger grades. For example, a PCGS recorded 1994 P. Kennedy Half Dollar graded MS-66 sold for $12 at auction. Another certified MS-66 example recorded by PCGS sold for $17. An even more interesting example is a certified 1994 P graded MS-67. PCGS records show an NGC MS-67 example selling for $28 at auction. This demonstrates how strongly condition can influence the price of a coin that otherwise looks like an ordinary half dollar. Some current market estimates place exceptionally high-grade 1994 P examples considerably higher than ordinary circulated pieces. One market guide lists approximately $1,469 to $2,115 for MS-68 examples, although prices can vary significantly depending on certification, eye appeal, population, and the individual buyer. Another current market source gives estimated values ranging from around $1.99 for an ungraded example to substantially higher figures for certified high-grade coins, including an estimated $46 for MS-68 in its current price guide. This difference between guides is a perfect reminder that coin values are estimates rather than guaranteed selling prices. This is exactly why collectors should look carefully at the grade rather than assuming every 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar has the same value. Two coins with the same date and mint mark can have dramatically different market appeal. The highest value possibilities are connected to extraordinary preservation and scarcity at the top of the grading scale. If a coin has exceptional surfaces, excellent luster, strong strike characteristics, and a very high certified grade, collectors may compete more aggressively for it. Mint errors can also create additional interest. If your 1994 P has an unusual and genuine minting error, it should be examined carefully because authenticated errors can have a completely different collector market from ordinary examples. Collectors should pay close attention to the lettering, date, mint mark, rim, edge, portrait details, reverse design, and overall surfaces. Anything unusual should be documented rather than immediately cleaned or altered. One of the most important rules for this coin is never to clean it aggressively. Polishing, rubbing, chemicals, or abrasive materials can damage the original surface and significantly reduce collector appeal. The original luster of an uncirculated coin is one of the characteristics collectors want to preserve. A coin that has survived for decades with attractive original surfaces can become much more interesting than a similar coin that has been scratched or polished. The history behind the Kennedy design also gives this series lasting collector interest. Kennedy half dollars are connected to one of the most important periods in modern American history, and the design has remained recognizable for generations. The 1994 P issue belongs to a period when Kennedy half dollars were still being struck for circulation, although half dollars were becoming less common in everyday transactions. That changing role helped make many examples more likely to end up in collections, rolls, jars, and storage rather than being spent regularly. For someone discovering a 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar today, the most exciting question is not simply whether the coin says 50 cents. The real question is whether the particular example has characteristics that make it more desirable to collectors. Imagine finding one with brilliant surfaces, exceptional preservation, and an unusually high certified grade. That is the kind of discovery that can make an ordinary-looking coin much more interesting. The future value of the 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar will depend heavily on collector demand and the number of truly exceptional examples available. As collectors continue building complete Kennedy half dollar collections, high-grade pieces can become increasingly desirable. That does not mean every coin will automatically rise to an enormous price. Instead, the strongest future potential belongs to examples with characteristics that collectors already recognize as desirable, especially exceptional grades, attractive eye appeal, and authenticated errors. For a normal circulated example, the current market is generally around the low dollar range. Current references show ordinary examples around the $1 to $3 range, depending on condition and market source. For uncirculated examples, the story becomes more exciting. Depending on grade and certification, current market estimates can move into the tens of dollars, with extraordinary high-grade pieces potentially reaching hundreds or even more in specialized market conditions. The important point for collectors is that the maximum potential should never be confused with the guaranteed value of every coin. A high price belongs to a specific coin meeting the conditions that create strong collector demand. If you believe you have an exceptionally beautiful 1994p, professional certification can be worth considering. A recognized grading service can authenticate the coin, assign a standardized grade, and place it in a protective holder that makes it easier for buyers to evaluate. Before paying for grading, however, examine the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for scratches, stains, heavy contact marks, cleaning, dull surfaces, and other issues that could prevent it from reaching a premium grade. The most exciting part of coin collecting is that valuable discoveries can begin with coins that look ordinary. A date and mint mark can be the starting point, but condition and rarity determine how far the story goes. So if you have a 1994p Canada half dollar, do not overlook it. Check the date, confirm the P mint mark, examine the surfaces, compare the quality with other examples, and pay special attention to anything unusual. The current evidence shows that certified 1994p Canada half dollars have already achieved prices above their 50-cent face value, with documented auction results reaching $28 for an MS67 example and higher guide estimates for exceptional grades. And this is what makes the 1994p Canada half dollar worth searching for. The ordinary examples are one thing, but a truly exceptional specimen can enter a completely different collector category. For the future, the most promising examples are likely to be coins with outstanding preservation, high certified grades, attractive original surfaces, and genuine mint errors. Those are the characteristics that can give a modern coin stronger, long-term collector appeal. So take another look at your 1994p Canada half dollar before putting it away. What appears to be a simple 50-cent piece could become a fascinating part of your collection, especially if it has the quality that serious collectors are looking for. The next time you search through an old coin collection, bankroll, inherited collection, or forgotten box of coins, remember the 1994p Canada half dollar. Check every detail, protect the original surface, and never assume that every example is identical. The real treasure in coin collecting is finding the exceptional example hiding among the ordinary ones. Your 1994p Canada half dollar could be one of those coins worth taking a much closer look at, and its grade, condition, and uniqueness are what will ultimately determine just how far its value can go.